Oilers are one win away from returning to the Stanley Cup final following a 4-1 victory over the Dallas Stars in Game 4. They're on their way, ladies and gentlemen. They're on their way. Welcome to the GCL Diesel Oil Stream post-game show on Edmonton Sports Talk. Of course, GCL Diesel, providers of the best diesel engine components around, from turbochargers to injectors, fuel pumps to sensors. They are the critical engine component experts, proud to serve Edmonton and Northern Alberta for over 50 years. Tom Gazzola with you live at the Canadian Ice House in a jubilant iced district. Let me say that again. Hernan Salas back at EST Global HQ. It's been a long and fun day. No better way to celebrate Ben Stelter's birthday than with an Oilers win. Text us 780-218-9999. Get to the nasty chat as well. We want to hear from you. Thoughts on tonight's game. Thoughts on how this series is unfolding. And we will get to all of that. We'll go inside the Oilers locker room. We're also going to hear from Reed Wilkins, who will be joining us in a little bit, as well as our game analyst, Matt Cassian, right here on the postgame show. Hernan Salas, man, oh man, there were times where Dallas, especially in the first period, looked like the more dangerous team. Yeah. But the Oilers withstood the pushes from Dallas. They were the better team defensively, and they took advantage of what little opportunities they had in the first two periods, and then clamped it down and got a couple of empty netters in that third period. What do you think of the game overall, Nancito?
Yeah, Dallas came out firing in the first period again. A little bit of luck, some missed opportunities for Dallas, some good saves by Stewie Skinner, Mr. Game 4. But I don't know where Tommy went, but he's right there. Can't really see. Anyways, but just a solid effort. I thought second period a little more even. Definitely not going to say Dallas was the better team in the second. I thought it was even. And then the third, just look at the shots. It was 13-4 for Edmonton. And that was the difference in the game. The third period, the Oilers just didn't sit back and let them come in waves. And at the end of the day, that's what you want. And Tom, you alluded to this a few games ago, not in the terms of just jump on them when when they're there, right? When you're up 2-1, you got to get that next goal and all that. And I thought today in the third period, the Oilers didn't sit back. They went at them. They were the better team. They created more looks. And again, the shots were 13-4. Listen, Tom, Dallas threw their best in the first, and they didn't get a goal. They got 2 goals in their last 3 games. This team all of a sudden is not going to find their scoring touch. Rantanen, MIA again. And I give kudos to the Oilers. I think they're doing an excellent job on their star players. You're not seeing a lot. Robertson has their last 2 goals, Tom. The Oilers are not losing 3 straight. This one, it's there's no guarantees coming or anything like that, but the Oilers are looking good, and they're going to go through. Dallas is they just don't have it. And I know they scored on the power play, Tom, but I thought their first 2, they were momentum killers for them. They just couldn't do anything. So at the end of the day, Tom, how can you not be happy for this team? After the disappointing of last season, they're right back at it. They're better than last year. They're just a different team. They're a different animal. I think Florida and the Oilers will meet again, and both teams are just playing at another level. Kudos to Dallas for a good first period, Tom, but you're not going to win a game playing one outstanding period and not having anything to show for it. So once again, Stuart Skinner, just amazing performance. Nugent-Hopkins playing at a different level. The veteran Corey Perry, just everybody chipping in, Tom. Look at our nasty chat. Everybody's so damn excited and happy. This is awesome. I'm
happy for the nasty chat. This is nice. This team it's been a painful process. There's been a lot of ups and downs, tough lessons that have been learned along the way. And here they are, another win away from making another appearance in the Stanley Cup final. So with that being said, let's get to the scoring summary from tonight's action. The Oilers win it 4-1 over the Dallas Stars, take a commanding 3-1 series lead. How did it happen? Well, Leon Draisaitl opened up the scoring, his 7th of the playoffs on the power play from Ryan Nugent-Hopkins. You heard Hernan talking about Nugent-Hopkins and his contributions. There's kind of like a 3-on-2-ish type of break, and Nugent-Hopkins has the puck in the slot. Instead of shooting it, he slips it over back to Leon Draisaitl, waits for the defenseman to move his stick, and Draisaitl buries it. That was the right play to make. How dare we question it in that fraction of a second? Corey Perry, the secondary assist at 11:23. Did you want to say something about that goal?
No, I'm just laughing because you said, like, good thing they don't listen to us, right?
Yeah, thank God they don't, because I remember being like, that went in. Okay, never mind. 1-0 Oil. In the second period, Jason Robertson would get the equalizer. Also on the power play, Corey Perry in the box. Robertson second in as many games, second of the postseason from Harley and Granlund. Nice shot by Robertson. That's where you could tell Dallas was dangerous and they were pressing, and they get one. That goal coming at 6:57. Corey Perry would totally redeem himself just a few minutes later at 9:20. Perry's sixth of the playoffs on a perfect pass from Ryan Nugent-Hopkins. Another multi-point game for Ryan Nugent-Hopkins. McDavid, the secondary assist, the power play. Another one on the night at 9:20. 2-1 Oil going into the third. How would they hold up? Pretty darn good. Everybody defending properly. And eventually it leads to Kasperi Kapanen burying his second of the postseason into the empty net. Nice chip play by Brett Kulak. Leon Draisaitl, the secondary assist at 17:33. 3-1 Oil. And then at 19:10, another empty netter. This time it's Adam Henrique, his fourth of the playoffs from McDavid and Wallman. Shots on goal tonight, 33-29 in favor of the Oilers. It was the Stars who were the leading on the scoreboard when it came to the shot clock. It was 25-21 Dallas at the end of the second, but the Oilers poured it on, as my friend Jack Michaels would say. Ends up being 33-29 in favor of the Oil. Face-offs. Oh, the Oilers got dummied on the face-off dot, but it didn't matter. 61.2% to 38.3 in favor of Dallas. The PK, 3 for 4 tonight, so it does let that one in to Robertson. The power play, 2 for 3, so the Oil win the special teams battle. That's always important. Hits 50 for Edmonton, 24 for Dallas. Block shots, 16-12 in favor of Edmonton. Giveaways, 18 for the Stars, 16 for the Oilers. And officially, 7 takeaways for the Oil, 2 for Dallas, 4 for Edmonton on the scoreboard, 1 for Dallas on the scoreboard. That is your final. It is a 3-1 Edmonton Oilers series lead going back to Dallas for Thursday night.
Oh,
all right. What do you got? What do you got?
No, I'm just saying, oh boy, they can close it out. Like, it's in 5. We'll see what happens with Florida and Carolina tomorrow, Tom. We could have I'm getting ahead of myself, but sorry, I just don't see Dallas coming back in this one at all.
Act like Tommy, you've been there before, Hernan.
I know.
I'm kidding.
But you know, last year I wasn't doing the shows with the Elks, so
that's true. Yeah, that's true.
I was in a different mindset. So
yes. By the way, the Elks teasing their new uniforms. Just touched up uniforms. They look great. They look how they should. I'm just going to add that little tidbit in there. Little Buzz from Nebraska texting in says, very happy they got the win. Can't wait for them to win the next game. Yes. Stanley in YYC says, 90 taketh, then 90 giveth. Take them out in 5. Hoping 18 is okay and we see 14 soon. Stanley in YYC, yes. Zack Hyman had to leave the game in the first period, did not return after colliding with Mason Marchment. We'll see if we get an update from Chris Knobloch post-game. I have my doubts, Hernan. Yes. I have my doubts.
Tommy, but Oiler fans are emotional, and obviously they're going to defend their player, but I don't think it was dirty. I think Marchment was going for a hit.
Yeah, I think
he got kind of sideswiped there. Hyman did, and yeah, I mean, some people saying it was a late hit, but I don't see any like bad intentions there. Yeah. It's unfortunate because he was a wrecking ball for this team. He's so fantastic. Yes. He was going to break the record for hits in a playoffs, and like you said, let's knock on wood. Hopefully, it's not long term, but initially, Tom, at first look on the replay, it did not look good.
No, it didn't. Dropped his stick, went right to the bench, down the tunnel, did not return. Maybe we get an update from Zack Hyman from Chris Knobloch. All right, let's welcome in our game analyst, Matt Cassian, for the breakdown. Brought to you, as always, by South Fort Chev. Go see Daniel and the team over in the Fort, and they'll give you $1,000 extra credit on your trade-in. Tell them EST sent you. Drive a little, save a lot at South Fort Chev. See dealer for details at www.southfortchev.com. southforchev.com. Mr. Matt Cassian with us now. Cass, a lot to like, obviously, about that game. Were there any moments where you were concerned about the Oilers, or did you think, no, this should be okay?
I didn't really feel concerned, guys. Like, did you?
No, not really.
I kind of felt like they were in control. Even when Dallas tied it, I was like, well, Dallas is making a push, but I'm like, they're probably fine. And lo and behold, pretty much immediately, right after I had that thought, they draw the penalty and they bury it on the power play, and they're up 2-1. And then I was like, yep, this is it. That's done. This game is over. Was a lower scoring game as anticipated by both me and Hernan.
And me. Thank you very much.
And okay, I'll throw you in too. Yeah.
I appreciate
Joaquin
that.
Gage was wrong. Dusty was also wrong. I'd just like to give that credit to myself that we were right, but what type of game it was. But solid game again by the Edmonton Oilers. They've won a couple of these in very different fashion. This one again, a good chunk of the game, Dallas was maybe the better team with some of the better opportunities, but it just really felt like Edmonton had a bend but don't break mentality where they're like, okay, yeah, you're going to press, we'll be all right, and we're going to get our opportunities, and by the way, we're going to win this game. So huge win.
How much concern for Zack Hyman after the collision with Mason Marchment, Cass? I know we said it on the pregame show, you're not a doctor, you just play one on TV, but what did you see in that collision, and what do you think for Hyman? I think it's more than a stinger, obviously, if he's not coming back.
Probably more than a stinger, not something where it's just immediate. What brought me concern was the way he was holding his arm and his shoulder in the hallway. Yeah, you could kind of see as he walked down. That was what made me concerned. Where I would have fear of either a separated or maybe not fully dislocated. I don't think it would have been fully dislocated, just judged by the way it was. And but I hope he didn't tear something in his shoulder. So it was kind of something in the shoulder or something in his wrist where it was just really hurt and he didn't want to move it. And he was kind of just holding it there. It was one of those two is what it seemed like it was to me. And it wasn't a dirty hit. I know people and some people are upset about that. It wasn't dirty. He was trying to finish him through, and you can't, like, you're not going to be like, oh, guess what? I'm going to miss this hit and hit this guy's hands and it's going to pop his shoulder out. Maybe like you're not thinking that. He was trying to hit him clean in the chest and just kind of catches a piece of him, but very concerning for the Edmonton Oilers. Would be a huge loss. Obviously his physicality, his tenacity, but I'm thinking it's shoulder or wrist here, guys. And could be one that causes him to miss some time.
Ryan Rishaw, guys, just quickly, he tweets this out. Hyman in the group of Oilers congratulating the team as they come off. Draisaitl stopped and gave him a hug. Doesn't look great. We'll see what Knobloch says. So that's just
if he's stopping and giving him a hug. If he's giving him a hug, Hernan, that's great insight to pull in. Like, guys, you're giving him that hug if you're might not be coming back.
Yikes.
Yeah, and Cass, I think you make a great point. Like, you're going for the hit. It's not like he has enough time to react, to switch and say, I'm going to nail his wrist or his elbow. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's a physical game. It's fast. And I just, and I get why fans think that way because they're fans, but I don't see any dirtiness. And just to touch on, Cass, what you said, like when Tom asked you, were you worried at all in that first period? Isn't it crazy, like, that we're not? Like, I just feel I know they're coming in and they were coming strong there and they're getting shift after shift in the Oilers zone. But guys, like, it's either, the Oilers are going to defend it well or Stuart Skinner's going to make the save. It's so different compared to other years.
I can't disagree with you on that one. They just, it's like finally they've learned and utilized all those experiences to better themselves, and it's coming together. You're right. It's taken a long time. It's been an arduous process. There's been heartbreak along the way, but I don't know. To me, this team is just on a collision course with the Florida Panthers in the Stanley Cup final, and I think they're ready to, certainly win the series, but they're going to be in tight and in tough against a really good Florida team, who, by the way, is also banged up and needs to get through Carolina. I think that's going to happen regardless. I think that these two teams are on a collision course of destiny to repeat last year's final, but a lot to like about the Edmonton Oilers. Now, unfortunately, that Hyman hug, Cass, the more I think about it, the more I'm like, oh no, that's not good.
Yeah.
I think you
and that to me, because it wasn't just like a fist bump, like, hey, we're excited. Like if he gives him a hug,
it's like, oh man, I'm sorry you're hurt.
I'm sorry you're hurt. Like you've been with us on this ride. We're gotta try to finish it for you, but like we love you, we care about you, and we hate you're not going to be with us. Now that could be speculating way too much.
Yeah,
right. Maybe we're reading into that way too much. But that's just where my first, like, I hear that, and Hernan, like, you say that, and then that's just like where my gut instinct goes, and it could be wrong. Could be wrong.
Hopefully it's wrong.
That's what my gut tells me. Hopefully it's wrong. I would rather be wrong, guys. I want to be wrong in that.
What'd you guys
manifest
think of
that you're wrong? Oh, bad as usual.
Yeah.
When is it ever good?
Yeah,
it sucks. It's bad in every single game in the National Hockey League. There's a rare few that they're not, and it doesn't matter if it's the Oilers playing in the game or the Columbus Blue Jackets. The officiating and the bar for it is so low, and that continues even though these are supposed to be some of the best in the league. Sorry, it never changes in my opinion. Cass, if you want to chime in on that.
Nope, don't need to.
Fair enough. All right. Keep those texts coming in. 780-218-9999. The Oilers get the 4-1 win in Game 4 and are now getting set to close this series out. They have a chance on Thursday in Florida to make it happen, in Dallas to make it happen and potentially face Florida or Carolina if the Canes can push back. We'll see what happens in tomorrow's Game 5. Troll texted in, says... Marchment was trying to blindside him. Also says Stars can't beat the Oilers, so they play Flames type of hockey. Can't beat them, so injure them. Classless. If they lose Hyman and Kane, I can't see them beating Florida. Florida has 4 lines. Oilers are down to 3 and now dropping. Guys, did we get any information on Kane? I don't know if they said anything on the broadcast, but I just know he was a bit nicked up. But he did come back in the third period. Did he not?
He played in the third.
Yeah.
Yeah, he played in the third. That was probably looking at the clock and how many shifts he had left to say, hey, let's just go take an extra minute here. Because it looked like they were working on his neck. Could be a cramp, could be a little bit of a strain, but just to say, hey, let's go take a minute here on this thing and give ourselves a little bit of extra time. I'm not worried about that one. That, is just like, hey, let's massage this thing out. Let's work this thing out. A little bit different than Hyman running down the hallway.
Cass, he had 5 shifts in the third. I think that's a good sign. Yeah,
he's fine. He'll be fine. Ice, stim, heat, massage, get that thing moving. But outside of that, that won't be a big deal.
Hey, Cass, Tommy, I put this out on Twitter as well on our Edmonton Sports Talk page.
Okay.
Where have the Stars gone for Dallas, guys? Like, do we have to start giving credit to the Oilers that they're doing an excellent job shutting them down?
Mikko Rantanen, nowhere to be found.
Yeah.
Tonight, Rantanen, let's just take a look at his stat line. He played 22-58-2, obviously no points again, and then had 2 shots, 1 block shot, 1 hit, 1 giveaway, and that's it. Like, I noticed him more, but I think it was me anticipating him providing more of an offensive spark. That did not happen at all, did it?
It hasn't materialized. But it's not just him. I mean, Robertson has a great goal tonight.
Yeah.
A great shot. That was a solid power play by them. Great shot. But outside of that, and I know he's hurt now too, but Hintz was non-existent. Yeah. Johnson, non-existent. Rantanen, -2, semi-noticeable, but ultimately ineffective as the guy that played the most minutes on the forward group for the Dallas Stars. Doesn't get much done. 2 shots. We're going 2 shots, 1 block, 1 giveaway. If we're pointing fingers, if I'm a Dallas Stars fan, to say what has gone wrong so far that we're down 3-1 in this series, starting with Rantanen, then I'm looking at Johnson, then I'm looking at Hintz, then I'm looking at Robertson, then I'm saying, if those guys aren't going, we're probably not winning.
What did you guys think of the Bush slash on Hintz, the top of the feet? Yeah, me too, actually.
You knew it was going to happen. You knew somebody was going to do it. Somebody's going to do it at some point. It probably happened more than that we didn't see, because usually that stuff is behind the play. And it's just like a product of where the camera was at the time, where they had it going up and everybody saw it. And then they obviously showed it again. And anyone that was watching on TV, the replays. But I loved it. I'm like, yep, that's
playoff hockey.
What do you expect? Yep.
You know what's funny, guys? There's a American media guy, I won't say who, and he put on Twitter, like he quote tweeted the little slash by Bouchard. He said, on brand. I'm like, have you watched the Oilers play?
For like the softest guy on the Oilers?
Yeah, I was like, what? On brand?
Did he not see Bouchard tap out when Ekblad put him in a chokehold last year? Come on. Like, are you serious? Okay. Brad from Crossfield texting in says, I think it showed a lot about their depth in how they played after Hyman left. Like Cass said, Dallas pushed at times in first 40, but the Oilers gave up 4 shots in the third. Their depth showed up. Do you guys think they slot in Ekholm and go 11-7, or does the coaching staff prefer to have consistent lines and deep pairings? What do you think they do? Brad from Crossfield makes a good point. Do you go 11-7? Like, I know the circumstance would dictate when Ekholm would get in. He has to get the green light by the doctors. If that does happen, you guys, like, would you go 11-7, or do you get Jeff Skinner in there finally?
I'm probably going 11-7. And let me tell you why. Zack Hyman only played 3 and change tonight.
Right.
Minutes. You still played a really solid game. And I don't think you're sitting at this going like, ooh, I need to make sure that I have that extra forward in here. But to put Ekholm in and to go 12-6, you got to take another defenseman out. Now, what happens if Ekholm, the doctor's clear, you test it out as much as you can, you think you're ready, but then you actually get bumped, you play 3 shifts, like when he got injured last time, and then it's right back and something happens, and now you have 5D. Right. To me, that's a bigger risk than going with 11 forwards. Like, I would rather go from 11 forwards to 10 forwards than 6D to 5D in the playoffs. So, and that's me, in my opinion. Hernan maybe thinks different, but I'm going 11-7, and I'm bringing in Ekholm so I can just manage his minutes and make ssure he is ready.
Yeah.
What does Jeff Skinner got to do to get in there?
But Tom,
go ahead, Hernan.
Cass makes maybe you start and let that way if Ekholm's in for Game 5 in his first game. Then you can switch it up if you want to bring in Jeff Skinner, right? Yep. Or if Connor Brown's healthy. But I think to start, just in case something re-aggravate or something happens to Ekholm or any other of the other Oilers defensemen, you don't go down to 5, but you still have your 6, right? So I think it's the wise move. And listen, I think we've all been Jeff Skinner guys on this show throughout the season. We love to get him into the lineup, and he might here, but I think the wise move is to go 11-7.
How about this one from the post-game press conference? Leon Draisaitl has called Ryan Nugent-Hopkins the best player in the series. We saw some Nugent-Hopkins haters earlier in the playoffs. What does he have now? 8 points in this series in 4 games? It's wild. Is he the best player in this series, do you think?
What a pass, boys, though.
Perfect pass.
To wait out CC to lift his stick. Like, it was, impressive.
A little bit of patience is beautiful pass. I'm torn between him and what I'm inevitable. Well, actually, no, they can't. I'm going to say it because they can't. They can't say anything to me today. But you also have to make a pretty strong case for Stuart Skinner.
Right. Well,
you have to.
6-0 in Game 4s. His goals against average going into tonight in Game 4s was .131. His save percentage, .953. 2 shutouts in those Game 4s. So his goals against goes down. Save percentage, I'm assuming, probably somewhere around the same. But 6-0 now lifetime in Game 4s. He's
not just that, but like you have Game 1 where, yes, you get scored on a whole bunch of times. We didn't love 1 or 2 of them. But then you have a shutout, and then you give up 1 goal, and then you give up 1 goal, and all of a sudden your save percentage has started to do this, and you sustain a team in the second period of Game 3, and you were just rock solid again tonight. So I think you could make an argument. Now, you could make an argument for, I think, a couple of guys, like Connor McDavid too, but you could make an argument for Connor McDavid. You could definitely make an argument for Ryan Nugent-Hopkins. And you could also make an argument for Stuart Skinner. You're at it, maybe you can make an argument for Evan Bouchard. But so there's a couple guys that it could be. But hey, if Leon Draisaitl is making that case, I'm I think that's it's a fair one to make, where he has been amazing. I mean, look at how many goals he's factored in on from the series standpoint, and a lot of them big goals too, like the goal today. So yeah, he's been huge. The Nuge has been huge.
With 8 points in his first 4 games of the conference final, you know who did the last Edmonton Oiler to do that was?
Gretzky.
Yes.
88, right?
Yes. Yes, sir.
Well, the Oilers went 16-2 in that postseason, beating. Actually, they beat Boston in 5. Game 4 in Boston, the lights went out after there was smoke on the ice. It was a super hot day, and they did not complete the game. Craig Simpson scored to tie it in the third period, and then the power went out. And then what they ended up doing was, like, everybody got to keep their points. It was like an incomplete game. They moved the series back here to Edmonton for what would have been Game 5. Technically, it ends up being Game 4. Edmonton wins that game anyway, so they would have given Game 7 to Boston, basically, if they needed to. If I'm remembering it. Yeah, it was a very strange circumstance. I remember I had a video VHS called A Time to Remember, Road to the 1988 Stanley Cup Final. And it went into detail about that. So anyway.
And Boston was the one that had the smaller rink, right, guys?
It did have a smaller rink.
Yeah.
It was small dimensions. That and Buffalo as well. The old auditorium had smaller dimensions. So nerd alert. My bad. But anyway. So yeah, 1988, the Oilers never losing at Northlands as well. For those of you that want to go down memory lane. All right, Tom Gazzola, Matt Cassian, Hernan Salas with you. I'm live on location at a pretty happy Canadian Ice House. Not too wild, you guys. I've had some people just come by and say hello. I think Cash was here, but we've been rolling along quite nicely. Keep those texts coming in, 780-218-9999. Get to the nasty chat as well. The Oilers with a big 4-1 win in Game 4, taking a 3-1 series lead. Guest concern because Zack Hyman did not finish the game. And then we saw Vander Kane a little bit nicked up, but the Oilers get the job done. Let's go to Peter texting in. Says, Dallas had a lot of ozone time and shots through 2 periods, but I thought the Oil did a great job of keeping everything to the outside. I'm curious if you guys are still getting Skinner hate from any idiots out there. Peter, with that one. I haven't seen anything. I haven't really gone into the nasty chat. I haven't seen there haven't been any texts in the text line about Stu Skinner. I don't know how you can be mad at Stu Skinner right now. If you still are, go, give your head a shake.
There's a couple people that are like, oh, well, when Skinner craps the bed, at least we have Pickard.
Okay.
Probably to my,
sure.
Speaking towards my comments about how he's been arguably the best player for the Oilers this series.
I did see a text, Cass and Hernan, that did say, why didn't Skinner score a goal tonight when there was an empty net? It was facetious and it was funny, and I appreciate
question,
that.
Though.
He did enjoy
fair
it,
question.
so he should be able to do it in the NHL. But there's a few out there, Tom, but let's not go there tonight. It's a happy place.
Big Dave says, if Hyman is hurt, you have to go 11-7. Hyman is on the PK. He's not on the PK.
No.
Brown is on the PK, and Ekholm is on the PK as well. Even though I like Jeff Skinner, this team is getting a big part of its success from getting defense up and down the lineup. Skinner isn't that guy. He doesn't kill penalties. I'd like to see him play more, but unless the scoring dries up, he's sitting out the rest of the playoffs. And then Big Dave adds, Stu Skinner has a .910 save percentage right now. He's ranked 7th among all goalies who have played in these playoffs, and most of the guys with better numbers than him have or are about to be eliminated. Skinner is at a 247 GAA on top of that .910 save percentage. 3 shutouts, obviously. Has not allowed more than a goal in a game since, Game 3 of the Vegas series now, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Quickly, I'm working, nothing yet from the room, Tommy. As soon as I get that, I'll let you know so we can run some. But this is coming from All Edmonton Media. Chris Knobloch saying he will update Zack Hyman's injury tomorrow.
Yeah, they're going to fly out tomorrow. We do know Knobloch will speak, I think, around 9 a.m., so I'll put that out there. I'm not surprised at all if that is the case when it comes to Zack Hyman's injury. Let's go to Hontorio Momes. Hontorio Mom says, Stephen Valaquette says Dallas led the playoffs in east to west chances with 36 before the series with Edmonton. The Oilers have only allowed 2, and they were high in the slot. That's Skinner's weakness, and they've catered their defensive game to it. That's a good point by Hontorio Moms. Is it more so Skinner that they're taking away the east-west cast, or do you think it's recognizing that that's Dallas's game and that's their strategy? Or is it both?
It's not just Stuart Skinner, as I've said before. You allow backdoor tap-ins, not very many goalies are going to stop them. Right? Like cross-crease one-timers, not very many goalies are going to stop them. Seam plays through, which is why teams try to do it on the power play. Not many goalies are going to stop them when you have to laterally move all the way across the net to push, and you don't have time to set and get an angle. It's difficult to do it. And so defensively, one of the main things you're trying to do defensively is if the other team's going to get a shot, you want your goalie to be able to be square to said shot, because most often they stop those ones. So from a game plan standpoint, it's not just Dallas's game plan to do that. I mean, look at Edmonton, look at Draisaitl's goal, and he's better at doing it than most from a finding space and from a lower angle than most players. He's probably the best in the world from that angle. You know, it's kind of like his kitchen, just like Ovechkin has his kitchen on the opposite side in the power play. You know, they have that spot. But, you know, a lot of teams try to move cross crease to generate opportunities because you force the goalies to move. So if you're defending, what do you want to do with your body and your stick? You want to stop seam plays and stop through plays. Like, in what you are trying to do when you're playing well defensively is eliminate those. You want to push the puck, that if you're going to give up something, you are giving up the lowest danger chance possible. And Edmonton has done a very, very good job of that this series. They've done a very, very good job of that this series. They've also done a very good job of not giving up 2-on-1s and on-man rushes against. You kind of had one today, got broken up quite well. I think it was Wallman that broke that one up.
Wallman
did a great job.
Wallman was good. I thought him and Klingberg had an excellent game tonight.
Another excellent game, yeah. And I think he was the one that broke up that 2-on-1. I may be mistaken.
I think I know which one you're talking about. I'm pretty sure it was him, where he kind of slid, got his glove on it, then they turned it back up ice. Yeah,
knocked it in the air, kind of went, and they were able to pick it up and then transition again the other direction. Edmonton was. And so it's like, it's playing good defense and eliminating that makes Stuart Skinner better east to west, because he's not having to do it all the time. And if you're having as a goalie and you're just getting burned over and 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 over on the back door, well, guess what? Guess what's going to happen? You're either going to cheat a little bit, or it's just like you're going to get it in your head. You're going to start playing deeper in your net, and it's going to start to create issues. And if you, from a confidence standpoint, are giving your goalie that confidence that, listen, you save the ones in front of you, and we're not going to let those backdoor ones happen, well, all of a sudden everything starts to just clean up. And then from a goaltending standpoint, you're going to get better goaltending. And that's where they are right now. And it's a positive thing. It's a good thing. So it's both. It's a long way to say that.
I enjoyed how you said it over and 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 over again.
Just repeating, yeah.
Yes, because you count up all the times we talked about it this season and in seasons prior, probably over and over and over and over and over and over again. RBM texting in. RBM says, the one thing I'll say with people complaining about Dallas being dirty is, although it's gone both ways, it usually does, I will say that at least Nurse and Hintz were fully engaged when Nurse whacked him one after Hintz cross-checked him in the back, mind you. I didn't like some of the blindsided stuff and hits from behind that I saw tonight from them, that's for sure, especially frustrating when the obvious ones aren't called. Again, it's going both ways, but still, RBM does make a good point. Like, there does seem to be a lot of catching guys in the back when they're not looking. I don't like that. That would make me mad more so than anything, Cass.
Yeah, I don't like those, right? And there's been a few of them, and referees are trying to walk a fine line. But you said it at the offset of the show, officials aren't great, so what do you expect here? Like, it's just, you don't like them. I don't like them. I don't think Hernan likes them. Maybe he does. Maybe he does. Maybe he likes those. Maybe those are his style. But what do you expect from the officials? Like,
yeah, that's true. That is true. All right, one more text. Do we have any interviews, Hernan? Are those ready yet?
Harry and
Okay,
Skinner
good.
locked and loaded.
All right, before we get to that, one more text. Ryan out of Saskatchewan says, absolutely love the Oilers' third period. Great job by the D in the neutral zone, squeezing guys off and having tight gaps. Third forward did a great job controlling the middle of the ice. Like Hernan said, full confidence in the group to steer that one home. Hope Hyman isn't too serious. Have a good one, fellas. That's Ryan from Sask. All right, let's go inside the Oilers locker room. And who are we going to hear from first, Hernan?
How about we go with the grizzled vet, Mr. Corey Perry. Here he is.
And I mean, he made some tremendous saves, and when you give up almost 20 shots in a period, you're not on your game. But we found a way to come out up one and never look back.
Is there a way for you to put into perspective the value of Ryan Nugent-Hopkins' overall game and what he's giving you here, big picture?
Yeah, I mean, he's done everything that he can ask. He's put in the work, and he's getting rewarded, and everything he's touching is making good plays, and he plays on both sides of the puck. He works as hard as anybody on the ice, and I mean, what he's doing out there, it just helps us out a lot.
Corey, how would you kind of sum up how you guys as a forward group were able to carry on the 50 minutes without Zack Hyman playing with 11 goals?
Yeah, you got to be aware who's on the bench or who's up on the bench, and you kind of get into the game, and you're focused on your next shift, and you never know if you're going to be up with somebody else. But I thought we did a good job. Obviously he's a big hole to fill, but nobody's going to do that overnight. It takes a team effort, and I mean, I thought we did a good job of that.
What does he mean to this group, Zach?
Well, yeah, I mean, he means everything. I mean, he's a workhorse. He's a dog in the bone on the puck, and he's when he's forechecking and hitting and finishing like he did last game. I mean, that's Zack Hyman.
You were sitting on the penalty box when Jason Robertson got the goal. How big of a relief it was for you to get one a few minutes later?
Yeah. That's if it's interference, whatever. I was trying to get to the bench, and it probably looked like a pick, but it's not. I was just trying to get to the bench, and he cut into me. I mean, it happens a lot, but we found a way after to put one over the line, and the power play came through tonight.
Back to Nugent-Hopkins, your goal. You knew he was going to get you the puck somehow when you got that position.
Yeah, we've been talking a lot. And moving the puck crisp and making good plays, and the power play will open up. And he made a good play. It's a 2-on-1 low, and he just put it on my stick at the net to shoot at.
All right, that was Corey Perry speaking to the media there. I know emotions are high, and I know they're happy that they won, and I know, it's not good with the Zack Hyman situation, but he says he's a dog on a bone, and he means everything to us. And I know the meaning everything to us, it's emotional after the game and all that, but if you got Corey Perry say something like that, that's pretty significant. Cass, as I'm being pestered here. Go ahead, Cass.
well, you're worth pestering.
I was being pestered.
Yeah, well, you're worth pestering, Tom.
Yes.
It's always enjoyable.
Yes.
Always enjoyable. Yeah, I mean, listen, Corey Perry is a veteran guy that has been around. You're going to heap praise on your teammates, and you're going to try to navigate very carefully what you're going to say there and just speak positively. So it's hard for me to really read into that, as far as Hyman goes or how clear. I still go back to the hug. I'm just obsessed with that hug, guys. I'm just obsessed with the hug at the end of the day.
We're taking all these little clues, right, guys? We're trying to figure out what's going to happen tomorrow, right?
Yeah, that is true.
Yeah. We'll see.
Okay. Let's go back into the locker room, and then when we come back, Reed Wilkins is standing by here at the Canadian Ice House. We'll get some final thoughts from Cass on the other side of Stu Skinner. Let's go to that, Nanso.
team in front of you in that third period and just how they attacked and didn't give up much?
Yeah, again, it shows a lot the way that we came out. Going into the third period, 2-1 lead. It's easy to back off and try to play it safe, and I thought we just played the exact same way. It wasn't safe or out of the ordinary. It was just a really good level, and the way that we competed, we got pucks in deep. We just got to work.
Another strong start for you, especially in the first period. It just seems like you're seeing the puck, even that deflection at the last second, you got a reaction. Kind of take us through the first and how you were feeling.
Yeah, I was feeling good. They definitely brought it on. They were bringing it the whole game. Again, how we all played as a team was fantastic. Shows a lot of courage, the way that our guys were blocking shots. And for myself, I definitely felt good out there. Just trying to give my team, the best chance that I possibly can every night. They're going to get their chances. They're a fantastic team, and how we respond to that has been really, really excellent.
This looked like the fastest, sort of hardest played game of the four. Like, they were desperate. You guys weathered a lot and played very well. Did it look like that from your crease? Up again.
Yeah, I think as the game went on, we started playing better. Playoffs is such a momentum game. They had a ton of momentum in that whole first period, a little bit of the second, obviously starting on the power play, and then we catch a goal, we get a little bit of momentum, and we try to keep it the rest of the way. That they're going to be pushing. They're a fantastic team. They got guys who can really skate. They're dangerous off the rush. You can keep on talking about how amazing that their team is. So even though that it's 3-1, we got a lot more work to do here, and for a fact that when they're at home, they're going to be given a really big push. So we're going to be ready.
How much more fun is it now that a win like this, where it's kind of a goalie battle, not a blowout, it's like between you and Jake out there?
To be honest, I know you guys love the goalie battle, but if you asked him the same question, he would say he doesn't really care. I would say the same thing. I'm just trying to outplay him. He's trying to outplay me. But that's not going like head to head. It's a little bit different when you're a goalie. I can't body check him. He can't cross check me. So it's a little different. But as a goalie, again, he gave his team a chance to win tonight, and so did I.
You've got this blue line in front of you. Guys that just know how to move the puck. What does it sort of look like to you, the smoothness and the way it's moving it?
Yeah, I think the best way to describe it is just fast. It's fast-paced hockey. Guys are moving the puck quickly, right on the tape, giving us a chance to get in the O zone and do our thing. The way that they've been playing shows a lot of composure.
You're missing Zack Hyman. I'll try now. You're missing Zack Hyman for 50 minutes of this game. What do you think of the way your team was able to carry on without him? And obviously you're missing a pretty key player.
Yeah, it's massive. You're missing a key player, and also you go down a guy in for lines too, right? So extra ice time for other guys, and just put some miles on guys. So the way that we responded was fantastic. You saw a lot of guys step up.
Did it just cut out there, Hernan? What happened?
Oh, that was my bad. Many buttons over here.
Oh, yeah. Okay, well.
Hitting the ball. It was right near the end anyway.
That was right. Okay, well, that's all good. I'm sure it was brilliant stuff. All right, Reed Wilkins joining us here at the Canadian Ice House. Before we get to Reed's Reed, Cass, just your final thoughts going into Game 5 for the Oilers, trying to close this one out. We'll see what the deal is with Zack Hyman, but just some final thoughts looking ahead to Thursday night's game.
Yeah, well, hey, it's got to be the next man up. Whether you go 11-7 and Ekholm steps in, whether it's Jeff Skinner that steps in or somebody else. Bottom line is you have a stranglehold on the series, and you're going to be in better shape, I think, the quicker you can finish this, right? Like you don't want to leave any room for doubt in your own mind and any room for hope in the mind of the Dallas Stars, because you just seized all the momentum. Stuart Skinner kind of talked about momentum and how Dallas had it early in the game. They managed to squeak through until they can pick it up and then seize that momentum themselves for the Edmonton Oilers and really carry it through the third and the end of the game. So you got the mo, you have the initiative here, and it's time to finish it and send yourself back to the Stanley Cup final and do it in a manner which I think is not that everyone was surprised last year, but in a way that's just kind of, throwing the finger in the air and saying, you know what, we're here and we're going to do this. And we still may not see McDavid and Draisaitl smile, which is okay. I'm fine with that. They have their eyes and hearts set on an objective here. But Tommy, it's time to close it out. Go for the gentleman's sweep, as it were, via Dusty Nielsen.
I do want to see those two pull off another one of those shows with the ridiculous accents and the funny outfits. Edmonton on home ice this postseason, now at 6-1, and the Stars fall to 2-6 on the road. Dallas is 7-2 at home. Edmonton 5-3 on the road. Cass, great stuff as always, my friend. Enjoy your Wednesday, and we'll see you on Thursday. Okay?
Sounds good, fellas.
There you go. There's our game analyst, Matt Cassian, with the breakdown brought to you by South Fort Chev, as we formally welcome in Reed Wilkins, fresh from working the locker room and the press conference room after Edmonton's 4-1 victory over the Dallas Stars. It's time now for Reed's Reed, brought to you by Edmonton Garrison Memorial Golf Club and Curling Club. Fall-in golfers, Edmonton Garrison Memorial Golf Club is open to the public, and memberships are still available. Join the ranks today and experience top-tier golf with a proud military tradition. For more info, visit egmgolf.com to enlist. All right, Reed, you were in the room like I was just saying. Did you see Zack Hyman?
No, I didn't see that. I guess he was there congratulating them.
Yeah.
But I didn't. I wasn't close enough to the runway to see that.
Okay.
So, I mean, usually a player who's injured in the game will still be there for the teammates when they come off the ice, unless he's obviously been hospitalized or really needs treatment.
Yes.
So I don't know if that's a great indication. I mean, I suppose I saw what Elliott tweeted, so I didn't see him tweet anything about a boot or a sling or anything like that. Maybe that's good news. The way what Knobloch actually said, I don't know if you played Knobloch yet.
No, we haven't.
I believe he said, I don't like to give updates until I talk to the doctor and get a little more information, so I'll give an update tomorrow. So, I don't know. Maybe that's not the best news if you put it that way.
Right.
But often at playoff time, I mean, he's probably going to be day-to-day, like everybody else. So
you're probably right.
Yeah.
I mean, we're not laughing at that, but you're right about what they describe injuries as. Like, the guy could have a severed pinky finger, and they'd be like, he's day-to-day.
Yeah.
That's
so hopefully Hyman's okay. I mean, important player, but the Oilers adjusted well tonight to not having him. Here, I want to point out this, Tom,
Please
first of all.
Go for it.
So after the first period, now unless they changed it again, I have a couple edits here myself, but it'll be within one or two.
There.
After the first period, the shots were 16-10 for Dallas. Shots on goal. Dallas had 16 shots on goal, 6 blocked, and 16 attempts that missed the net for 38 attempts.
They were dangerous.
Edmonton had 10 shots, 1 blocked, and 5 missed nets.
Yeah.
For 16 attempts. So the Oilers were minus 22 in shot attempts.
It felt like it was a minus 22 in shot attempts.
By the end of the game, it was minus 11, and obviously the Oilers also outshot them in terms of shots on net as the game went on. So the Oilers withstood the barrage in the first period. Skinner made some good saves, but I want to point out that missed shots. And for comparison, the Oilers had 14. Dallas had 26 shots that missed the net. And they had some attempts from very, very good players on which Stuart Skinner did not have to make a save. And we talk a lot about mistakes in hockey, and it's usually mistakes made at the defensive end of the ice.
Right.
The Dallas Stars have some players who the primary reason they receive an NHL paycheck is to score goals. And they didn't hit the net. Mikko Rantanen, 2 shots on goal, 3 missed the net.
Yep.
Matt Duchene, 1 shot on goal, 5 went wide, including a post. That counts as a missed shot.
He had
with
a couple
2/3
that
of the net.
Really
with 2/3 of the net to shoot at.
Yes.
Maybe 1/3 by the time Skinner was getting across. Mason Marchment did have 5 shots, but he had 3 others that he missed the net. Jamie Benn doesn't play a ton. 1 shot, 2 missed the net. So, there were some players, good players. Granlund, 1 shot on net, 2 blocked, 2 missed the net. Those are mistakes. Like, if you're an offensive player and you have the puck in a grade A area of the ice,
had some good looks tonight.
To miss the net is a mistake. Maybe it's not a mistake as pinching to cause a 3-on-1 or turning the puck over into your own net, but you're taking away those little chances for you to pick away and to get opportunities. But now, having said that, Dallas played great in the first period, great energy, great physicality.
Desperate.
But what we're seeing with the Oilers, with only a couple of exceptions in the postseason, is when things aren't going their way, they limit the damage.
Yeah.
They hang in there. They're, with the exception of game 1 in this series, they're not allowing 2 goals in less than a minute or 3 goals in 7 minutes. Mm-hmm. They're hanging in there, and then they're giving themselves chances at the other end to get back in it. And then I thought the Oilers, I did think they got better as the game went on. And then it's interesting, you know, a big story for this postseason is that compared to past years, and especially last year, the Oilers aren't winning games with their special teams. Well, they kind of did tonight.
Tonight they did, yeah.
It's 2-1,
yeah.
And they got some big kills at other times. But I thought this overall, Tom, was just a fantastic hockey game. I mean, fast, physical, desperate.
Got some saves.
Both goaltenders were excellent. I mean, It was Ottinger's best game of the season, of the series. And Stuart Skinner continues to put together an excellent run here.
Keep those texts coming in, 780-218-9999. Coach Mike is saying, is Brown day-to-day? Yeah, probably.
I don't know if they didn't talk about it tonight.
No, they didn't talk. We just knew he was out. Rye Guy says, okay, Reed, all those shots and shot attempts. However, I felt a lot of those shots were from the perimeter. Oilers had less shots at that time, but I felt they had better quality chances. Can we talk about how Jake Onger also played unreal tonight, Rye Guy? Yeah,
I will say this, Rye Guy. I think in the first period, there were some really good looks. There were some really good opportunities for Dallas. I mean, I don't have everything written down, but I think Rantanen shot one over the net.
Duchesne definitely
did. Hit the post. I think he missed another one. Like there were some. I thought anyway, Rye Guy. Maybe I'll have to go back and watch it. I thought in that first period. I mean, again, 16 shots went wide. So
it was a bit of a bombardment.
You'd think some of them would have been for some pretty good parts of the ice.
Right.
It's crazy, Reed. Like, sorry.
Go ahead. No. I was going to say, I thought they were dangerous. Go ahead, Nanso. Sorry.
Yeah, no, they were in the first for sure. There was even one where Skinner was like on his backside and it hit him. Right, guys? Like, it was just a wild play there. But Reed, it's kind of crazy to see because we have some Winnipeg fans in the Nats chat saying, where was this team against the Jets? But I think you got to give credit to the Oilers as well. But Reed, they have 2 goals in their last 3 games in Dallas. Like, their stars are letting them down.
Maybe.
Yes.
Part of it. That's part of the story, the East-West opportunity. Somebody texted in talking about how Dallas had all these East-West opportunities going into the series, and Edmonton has limited those. That's good checking. That's attention to detail. That's a smart strategy.
I feel bad for the Winnipeg fans because they do have a great team, but I wonder... And I don't want to make it sound like I'm trolling the Jets. I'm just putting this out analytically from what I saw. Did the Jets pound Dallas like the Oilers are? Like everybody is trying to hit, I
don't think they did.
I don't think they did. It's just, it's that extra little bit. I mean, they're still hitting Harley. They're still hitting Haston who's hard to hit because he's a quick player.
Yep.
And they're just trying to hit guys. I haven't gone back and watched the video yet, but I've seen the tweets about Bouchard slashing Hintz's foot. Okay, this is Evan Bouchard.
Yeah.
Mr. I'm afraid of a housefly all regular season.
He's the guy that got tapped out, as I said earlier.
I mean, if Bouchard's actually doing that, like, holy crap.
Yeah.
What a mindset transformation by Bouchard and the Oilers. But
caterpillar becoming a butterfly.
A very mean butterfly, apparently.
A Mothra, if you will.
But, I get the disappointment for Jets fans, but... I mean, the Oilers are playing well, and there's ebbs and flows too, right?
Sure.
I mean, maybe Dallas was a little sharper in that series, but I do think the Oilers, like I said, they're surviving Dallas's push, and then when the Oilers, this is the interesting thing about the Oilers this season, and then this is one thing we've sort of been talking about. When the Oilers ramp up their game, it's not based on the flair of Draisaitl and McDavid. It's based on we're putting the puck along the boards. And we're going to work.
They don't play a sexy game. They rim it. They go low to high. They wait. Then they work it to the middle.
Yeah, and just a ferocious game. I thought Podkolzin played really well.
Yeah,
tonight.
he was all over
just
it.
On pucks.
Arvidsson, outside of falling down like every second shift, I thought was effective.
I still feel sometimes with him, he tries to make a little unconventional plays, but he was playing hard. Kapanen, had a pretty good game. Again, his puck skills sometimes aren't great either, but generally when puck goes and Kapanen gave it away tonight, it was in the Dallas end.
Yeah,
they're not turning the puck over the neutral zone.
That's fair.
And I haven't even mentioned
what
the best player in the series, according to Leon Draisaitl, and I think a lot of observers, Ryan Nugent-Hopkins, who is looking talented and tenacious through 4 games. Gets points, but what about that forecheck in the third period where it looked like he had no chance and he tracks down the guy from behind and just digs and digs and digs. Now, yes, eventually Dallas got that puck back about 15 seconds later and got the puck out, but things like that wear down an opponent. All of a sudden, Dallas thinks we're playing offense and then say, Nuge, and then by the time they get it out, maybe now they're thinking, okay, how long's my shift? Do I get a change? Do I have enough energy to attack? What's going on? So little things like that, right? The Oilers are doing all these little things very well, and that's why they're winning.
That play you described, even though it's an instance, but I think we've seen that type of style from a bunch of Oilers players, including Ryan Nugent-Hopkins. That's annoying to play against.
Yes.
And you did the head back like, oh my God, I thought we were going back the other way. That is such a frustrating and annoying team to play against, because they, remember Todd McCollum would always be like, get in the guy's equipment, play in their equipment. That is playing in the opponent's equipment. It's being annoying. It's being a little weasel. It's hard work. It's gritty. It's a dog.
Yeah, and I mean, Frederick had to play more tonight with Hyman out. He played hard. Like everybody everybody's chipping in. It's not perfect, but they're covering for each other if a guy makes a mistake. I mean, Stu had the one nervous moment. Puck handling, I think it was either Wallman or Klingberg got caught from behind and lost the puck. But then it's, hey, guys, it's an emergency. Everybody get back and help.
They defend in layers. They're on the right side of the puck. They're on top of all those terms that you hear coaches say that they need to do. They're putting on a clinic on how to do it, finally, which is incredible, because I don't think even 3/4 of the way through the season we'd be like, oh, yeah, the Oilers play a sound defensive game. Their structure is good and they pay attention. No, we would talk about lazy back checks, flying the zone, bad pinches. That isn't happening right now.
Yeah, well, and the back checking for sure. I mean, when we were kids, it was back checking, and now it's sometimes backtracking or back pressure or whatever. I still just call it back checking.
It is all the same.
But yeah, it's the Oilers aren't quitting on plays, and even the block. I don't know what the block shots wound up tonight, but I thought there were some nice blocks. Block 16, Dallas block 12.
Yeah. Did you see what they had the hits at?
The hits are 50 to 24.
I know.
The Oilers.
When I laughed when I said 50, but I don't know. I think the off-ice officials here are pretty stringent. Like, they go back and you had edits on shots on goal. I had to switch mine. I had 17-10 in favor of Dallas. It was 16-10 because they go back and they watch and they check everything.
But it's guys playing to their strengths, and it's guys being resilient. Like, the Oilers are a very composed and mature team.
Yeah.
And then as we referenced, I'll give you another Bouchard example.
Yes.
When Ben plastered him borderline from behind, he stuck Ben in the throat. I thought he was going to get a penalty. He came out and he's poking his stick up here, and I'm like, Evan Bouchard?
What?
But he's like, I'm not taking any crap. And he
is capable.
And when was the last time
he
made an egregious turnover? I mean, it's amazing.
In the LA series, he did. Well, 3 games probably. In the LA series.
I mean, there's always little turnovers or times the puck doesn't get out, but in terms of something really bad. So it's a lot of good things about the Oilers. Yes, it's a fine line. Yeah. Yes, Dallas has had chances, but there's a reason. What are we at now? 9 of the last
11?
No, 11 of the last 13 the Oilers have won.
Yeah, it's all a blur. I'll be honest with you.
Now they just got to finish. Now it's you really got to go for the throat. No let up. Get it done, like Cass was saying.
Dallas 7-2 on home ice this postseason, 2-6 away from American Airlines Center. All right, we do have a bunch of texts to get to. 780-218-9999. Get into the nasty chat as well. We're live on location at the Canadian Ice House as the Oilers win it 4-1 over the Dallas Stars to take a commanding 3-1 series lead. Tom Gazzola, Reed Wilkins with you. Hernan Salas back at EST Global HQ. Twitter Mary texting in says, an SD nomination worthy rant from Cass tonight over and over and over and over and over. You missed it. Cass dropped about 34 over and over and over.
Oh, wow.
And then Mary says that shots that miss the net completely are unforced errors. So she sees eye to eye with you on that one, Riedrich. Let's see what else do we have. Refresh that. The Unknown wants to know if Ekholm is playing Game 5. What do you think?
I'm still going to say I doubt it.
Yeah. I mean, I have my reasons to doubt it as well. It's encouraging that he's getting closer. I know he wants to play. He can be persuasive. But I don't think they're going to force it if they don't have to. I thought Troy Stecher was pretty damn good today.
Well, he just works so hard. I think he got excited when he had that one-timer that he fanned on. Almost worked. It almost worked as a pass to Nurse who was cutting down low.
But he fanned on it too, didn't he, on that sequence?
I think he missed. I think he tried to stab at it and missed it.
Yeah. I remember that. Brett Kulak says, Brad from Crossfield, had a shift in the second I think you could use as a tutorial on how to play defense. Great stick, body position, angles, and patience on the play. What do you guys think has Kulak done quietly to support this decor? I've noticed
I don't think it's quiet. I think it's very noticeable.
His skating ability is almost second to none.
And he's smart.
Yeah. He picks his spots. He jumps up a lot, and he's always the first guy back when he takes that risk.
Yeah, and he doesn't take stupid chances. He's like you say with a lot of these plays, you got to know who you are. Mm-hmm. Okay, he's not Bush. He's not just quick. He's a good skater. I don't know if he's like an elite skater, so he knows he's not going to be an end-to-end rush guy. He's just in the right place and gets the puck going in the right direction when he gets it. And what a flippy.
Good flippy.
To Kapanen for the big empty netter.
They don't ask how, they just ask how many. That's a good assist.
Early pull by Dallas, 2:43 left.
Yeah, I was a bit surprised by that, but it makes sense. Your desperation.
You only have one goal all game.
Yeah. Lacombe Drew says, Evan Bouchard, if he gets any meaner, he'll be doing hit jobs for Tommy's Downtown Crime Syndicate. The short shorts.
Nice, that's funny.
Well played, Lacombe Drew. That's a good one. Coach Mike says they trust each other. No Oilers trying to do too much. That's a good point, Coach Mike. And then Maple Jed texting in says Oilers had 6 giveaways to Dallas 18. I love how the Oilers are playing right now. Another night where Coach Knobloch spread out the minutes, keeping everybody fresh. Speaking of that, Evander Kane, was there anything there? Because I know he was a bit nicked up. Played 5 shifts in the third.
No, there was nothing on him. I'm sorry.
Okay.
I got a few stats for you boys. Stuart Skinner, courtesy of the NHL, dialed in his 5 wins this postseason, boys. A .39 goals against, a .985 save percentage with 3 shutouts. That is freaking outstanding. Now, Zack Hyman only played 3 minutes, okay? He still got 2 hits. He has 111 hits in these playoffs. That's 7th most all-time in a single postseason. We'll find out more about him tomorrow. And guys, the Dallas Stars in the last 2 third periods, in Game 3 and 4, guess how many shots they have total?
Oh, I think it's a single digit, isn't it?
It is.
Really? What is it?
It's 8. 4 last game, 4 this game.
Wow.
Yeah.
Jeez. Okay, I got an update from on Hyman, just someone in the organization with knowledge of the situation. I said, is it bad for Hyman? The response I just got was not good. So, there you go. Not good. That's not encouraging. And usually if it's encouraging, I'm usually told, hey, he'll be back or give him a couple games. But not good is a bad indicator.
I got to see it again. I mean, I didn't really see it live, and then I saw one replay.
It's like he got jammed up and he dropped his stick. I thought it might have been the shoulder, but his hand kind of like, I don't know. I'll pull it up for you, Reed. But
on the broadcast, boys, they were alluding to it more. They were thinking it was the wrist.
You got jammed up.
Good.
Yeah,
that's what it was. You got jammed up. Here, Reed, take a look. So Marchment tries to hit him. He just gets caught. Like it just catches
that's a
him.
weird play. It looks right hand.
Yeah, well, look how he's holding it.
But he also is holding it in that separated shoulder stance that guys have too. But I don't know if it. It's a glancing blow.
It is a glancing blow.
Just to jam something. Yeah, that's not good. I mean, Hyman's. Well, of course. How? Well, maybe I shouldn't say this.
Say it.
Can you imagine if the Oilers went to the Cup final and maybe did very well? I won't say anything else. Without two of the biggest additions, literally in franchise history. One of the best free agent signings ever, Hyman, and one of the best trades ever, Ekholm.
That would tell me that the depth
amazing. Yeah,
was good, and the team's commitment to sticking with the strategy was good. And then, by the way, you have two of the best players in the world on your team. So,
and Nuge.
And Nuge.
Or maybe you meant him as one of the two.
100% didn't, but I think of him in very high regard, and much to the chagrin of some people. But
that was quite a play on Draisaitl's goal, because Nugent-Hopkins has the puck in a position, like even Mrs. Korpeniuk's goldfish thought Nugent-Hopkins was going to shoot. And then he puts it back over to Draisaitl for the sharp angle one-timer. But that's what we talk about, moving the goaltender.
Is Mrs. Korpeniuk related to Jablonski?
No.
Okay.
But Nuge gets it, and then it's back. So, Otter's back, and then they got to move him back. So that's what we talk about when we talk about making a goalie move twice. And then shoot it. Now, I don't know if Nuge gives that back to anybody else except Draisaitl.
Right.
Because he knows he can hit the net from there. But that was
sure we're all thinking shoot
you could almost hear that split second in the building of people groaning that he didn't shoot. And then a half second later, it's like, oh, he scored.
Perfect. And even watching the body language of Ottinger, he just goes and he's like, oh my God, that one in. Go ahead, Hernan. Sorry.
So the boys, the great Chris Pronger broke down that goal, and he gave it to Heiskanen there, not closing in on Draisaitl quick enough. Yeah, he was like, that was poor play by Heiskanen. Despite that Nuge was going to shoot it, that's what the great Chris Pronger said. He looked at
interesting.
Heiskanen.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, Heiskanen, obviously, he was hurt for, 30-something games. He missed a good chunk of the season, pretty significant injury when he got submarined there by Mark Stone. I haven't noticed him for anything particularly good this series. And again, I recognize fully how tough it is to come back from a significant injury. But the other thing, too, I thought on that, listen, Chris Pronger knows 1,010,000 times more things about hockey than I do. But the only thing I thought about Nugent-Hopkins and the way he passed it over to Draisaitl on that one was he delayed and waited for Heiskanen to move his stick over. Maybe Pronger's talking about gap control. I don't know. I'd have to go back and watch it. But yeah.
So this is what he says. Draisaitl with a sweet goal to start the scoring, but Heiskanen with a huge mistake in playing off 29 and relaxing for a second before realizing he needed to close in on him. Too late. The puck is in the back of the net.
Yeah. I'm not going to argue with him. Ever.
No, I never. That is interesting because I wouldn't have thought of that in a power play rush situation. Like, I wonder if there's supposed to be some help maybe coming across as well. I don't know.
Okay, a couple more texts. So we'll get to the player of the game as well as the turning point of the game. This one comes in from Jason. Jason says, Jamie Benn still has dry hair, no even working hard or noticeable. Yeah, not even.
Well, he's at a different point in his career, too.
He's old.
He was a fourth liner to start the series. I think they put him on the third line tonight. I think he is trying to agitate to a degree. I just don't know if the Oilers are giving him the time of day too much.
No, that doesn't seem like it. That is a good point. Not Fred Texan says, in the playoffs when teams say, quote, we didn't play that well, unquote, it means that the other team made them play bad. It's not about Dallas playing bad. It's about the Oilers playing great.
No, I would generally agree with that, for sure.
Yeah.
But I will say, if you're a top six player and you're in the slot and you're open, you got to hit the net. I stand by saying that part of the game, those are mistakes by the Dallas offensive players.
I'm with you on that. That is a good way to look at it. I understand. And they had some nice looks in and around the slot. Maybe they weren't all perfectly clean, but they were in and around the slot. Lacombe Drew adds, if anyone would be stubborn enough to go full 1990s Mike Greer and just pop their shoulder back into place after every shift just to play, I feel it would have to be Zack Hyman. You know what, Lacombe Drew? You got to be a warrior to do it. And yes, I think Zack Hyman would sacrifice his shoulder and its short-term health to put it back into place. A la Mike Greer. When Mike Greer used to do that, it was insane. What would we do? Like slam his shoulder into the wall? Nasty.
I can't imagine doing that.
Oh, no. This text comes in from Kansas City. Says, great game. I'd like to see more shots from the defenseman.
Well, Bush had 2 shots on 4 attempts. Wallman had a couple of shots. Stetcher had a shot on goal. Did Wallman? Wallman had at least one that I can remember. Wallman had a couple of shots on goal. Yeah. Another one blocked. Another one went wide.
Yeah.
I will say this, though. I noticed it more again the Vegas series than how Dallas plays. The Oilers, they don't shoot for tips or shoot. Like, you could tell Vegas sometimes just shot wide on purpose.
Oh, yeah.
Just get the puck down low.
Yeah.
But the Oilers' offensive theory, I think, is we got a cycle.
Right.
Just, with David Draisaitl on the ice, you want them to work around and try to get the puck into the middle.
Yes.
And then now, with how some of the other lines are playing, it's like, well, let's go to the run game, so to speak, and bang it in down low with the fullback. So maybe that's why they don't fire away from the point as much. Though I still think they do it at times.
Yeah, sometimes. I like chaos goals where you just put it in goalie's feet. Sometimes I respect those shots, just the blind shots, and the guy redirects it in, and it's like a beautiful tip. You're like, well, that was just a desperate throwing the puck to the net situation. All right, let's get to the turning point of the game, brought to you by Advantage Sport Medicine and Physiotherapy. As they say, Connor McDavid, he's got a team of specialists. You have a bag of frozen peas. So get the same locker room approach that's trusted by the best in the game at Advantage Sport Medicine. Book your assessment today at www.advantagesportmed.ca or call 780-460-9977. I am going to go to the Ryan Nugent-Hopkins pass to Corey Perry. Perry fanned on it, but it was such a good pass. It still went in. That made it 2-1 for the Oilers. It redeemed Corey Perry for his bad penalty that got scored on, and the Oilers held on to the lead the rest of the way. That is your Advantage Sport Medicine and Physiotherapy turning point of the game. Yes, Reed Wilkins.
Well, and maybe even to expand on that.
Please do.
And again, we're talking about mistakes. Now, Corey Perry claims on his interference penalty he was trying to get to the bench.
That's such a pile of...
I mean, he knew it. I understand why the fans booed it, and I understand it wasn't like a blatant interference, but the ref, that's one of those, and I did think the refs were just okay
They weren't that good tonight.
But that's one of those where the refs like, Corey, I know what you're trying to do.
And then
I didn't realize there were other players on the ice.
And he's the king of that.
Okay, so he gets a penalty, Dallas scores. Mason Marchment does the same thing, but worse.
Yes.
He body checks. Like, he didn't even try to hide it.
I know.
So, again, we talk about these little moments, like little moments of composure or making the right play or not taking a chance. Doing that is giving the ref the chance to call a penalty. So,
Correct.
yeah, but Perry did it too. Fair enough.
Yes.
But then Marchment does it when it's 1-1 shortly after. And he does the same thing. Like, I know a lot of times when players will argue, I've been hit from behind 5 times, and then I hit a guy from behind and you call a penalty.
Yeah.
But Marchford can't say, you're not calling picks tonight. Like, no, they just call the pick, and he does something even worse.
Yep.
Like, that's one of those, that's a mistake.
Did they call that one or not?
Yes,
they did call that one.
That was led to the Perry power play goal.
That's right.
Perry interfered on Rantanen with 14:08 left. Robertson scored with 13:03 left. Marchment interference on Henrique with 11:27 left.
That's it. Yeah.
Perry scored at 10. I can't read my writing. 10:40 left. So like less than 3 minutes after Perry gets a penalty,
he does the same
which
thing.
allows Dallas to tie the game. Marchment does the same thing.
Yes. Bad composure. All right, let's go now to the player of the game, brought to you by Damon Bunting Real Estate. Damon Bunting, consistent top-producing realtor in the greater Edmonton area for over 17 years. He and his team would love to help you find that right home or make the move from your current home. Check him out, DamonBunting.com, or visit his Instagram at Damon Bunting Real Estate. Hernan, the Latino Heat, Salas. Take it away.
Yeah, the player of the game is going to go to Ryan Nugent-Hopkins. 2 brilliant passes tonight. 19-10 time on ice, 4 shots, 1 hit, 1 block. Nuge has been outstanding in this series, so he gets, and not just this series, but obviously one of the best players tonight, not the best one. He gets a Damon Bunting player of the game for the agency.
You like that?
It's pretty good, Tom. Nice fade.
Thank you. I've been working on this. I've been getting used to this board. It's kind of nice. All right, we have a couple minutes left. Tom Gazzola, Reed Wilkins, and Hernan Salas with you. Tom and Reed on location at the Canadian Ice House. We've had a great time. It's winding down. I think we could tell there's like some fatigue. Oh, look at that. We've got, who is that, Moses?
Skinner, yeah, I don't know if it's Moses or Methuselah or who.
Yeah, some kind of religious figure. I think two 10 Commandment blocks sitting over his shoulders. Interesting. Foreseeing the future. I don't know, Reed. Okay, let's get to a couple more texts and then some final thoughts. Adam from Lloyd says, hey, boys, hell of a mature win tonight. I had to celebrate with one by the fire. What a great result on a beautiful night. Stars have been cooked since game one. Rantanen, just a ghost out there, although I think the Oilers' play is a big reason Dallas isn't scoring. Boys locked it down in the third and ran their show. How solid has Skinner played, and how solid was Skinner tonight? What a stud. Side note, refs were brutal tonight. 2, load Chris Rooney onto a rocket and launch him. Send Kelly Sutherland with him. Cheers to a not-so-late night for you boys tonight. Gentlemen's sweep incoming Thursday. Let's...
Yeah.
Oilers.
Well, he was Rooney and O'Rourke tonight for the refs.
Yeah, Rooney, that was his first game back since he took that high stick to the eye. You saw the black eye he had. That was that. That
was him. Right. Yeah.
Florida, Toronto. That was scary. It was seriously scary. Brock B texting in. Brock B says, one word to describe this game, lunch pail hockey. They bent but never broke. Huge props to the PK for some clutch kills throughout the game. I didn't feel the Oilers were at their best, but I also never felt the game was in doubt. This team plays with a sense of calm and composure they haven't had for the last 5 playoff years. This might be the year, Tommy. Thank you, Brock B, for that text. Appreciate that very much. Good to hear from you. Stan says, one team can impose their will on you. You feel defeated and beat down. Florida is doing that to Carolina. Oilers doing it to Dallas.
Yeah, I think that's fair for the most part. Mm-hmm. No, I do think you got to give Dallas some credit. Like, they're not completely wilting, but they're probably a little frustrated.
Absolutely. All right, Nanso, we'll go to you, then we'll go to Reed, and then we will say goodnight. It's been a very fun post-game show. Man, it flies by already 80 minutes into this show. Absolutely flying. Lots of great interaction. Great audience tonight, as always. We appreciate you guys very, very much. It is the 10 Commandments, but in Oilers form. Let's see. What do you got? We got 1. Hold on. Where do I start?
Oh, my goodness.
One has to do Campbell and one has to do Woodcroft.
Oh, okay. Oilers, thou shalt not speak ill or doubt our Savior, McJesus. 2, fans must believe in Campbell or he shan't believe in himself.
Well, I should say Skinner now.
Yeah, but
Pickard right now.
Pickard right now. Okay. Oilers, thou must pray every time Nurse is on the ice. 4, man and woman must respect the loyalty of the Nuge. 5, one must wait for the Bush bomb to see the Bush bomb. And I don't know if I have enough light to make that out.
Yeah, it's on blue.
Thou shall never question Woodcroft's coaching abilities.
No, that's not blocked.
You shall not bandwagon on the Oilers. You are either an Oiler or not good or bad. Okay. 8. One must play La Bamba after a win and love Ben, or they are not a true fan. Well done. 9, thou must have faith. Hyman is willing to sacrifice anything to get a goal, even his face. Yeah, today. Yeah. It's very fitting. And then finally, 10 Commandments of the Oilers way, I'm calling it. One must never doubt the Oilers on the power play, for they will score, especially when Draisaitl is in. They got 2
very
tonight.
Good.
Nicely done.
Thank you, sir.
Nicely done.
Is this Chad?
No, this is Edmonton Sports Talk.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I appreciate it.
Thanks,
guys. Thank you. Right. Interesting. Good
Thank
costume.
You very much.
I like it. All right, Reed. Final thoughts from you. That's a good cause. That's clever.
Well, I what can I say? Just keep pounding away.
Yeah.
I mean, they're what words are we using over and over again? In control, composed, resilient, mature. Keep proving that. Prove it. Thursday night. Don't go do it. Don't wilt. Play with energy. Trust each other. Keep making the smart plays.
Follow the Oilers' commandments that guy.
Follow the Oilers' commandments that the guys went in, and then maybe and they might need who knows? Are they going to need Jeff Skinner to step up or Max Jones or somebody like that? and come in and play a sturdy, rugged game. We'll see.
We'll get an update tomorrow from Chris Knobloch on Zack Hyman. But what I was told from source within the organization, not good. So there you go. That is what I got, and we'll hear more from Chris Knobloch. The Oilers get the win 4-1 tonight, take a 3-1 series lead, and we'll look to close it out Thursday night in Florida. We're back on the air 5 p.m. for the GCL Diesel Oil Stream pregame show right after the Reed Wilkins show with Jay Milne. That's going to do it for tonight's postgame show. Big thank you to everybody who watched on YouTube, everybody who listened on iHeartRadio, TuneIn Radio, EdmontonSportsTalk.com's audio player. You guys are the best. We appreciate you. Hit that thumbs up button on your way out. The Oilers get it done tonight, looking to close it out on Thursday for Hernan, Salas, and Reed Wilkins. I'm Tom Gazzola saying have a great night. We'll talk to you tomorrow.